We're in the veg plot today on Pots and Trowels, and that's brought to you with the support of Cobra Garden and Darlac. Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, I'm in the veg plot today, just having that late autumn tidy up. The leaves have fallen off the trees now, third week in November, so I'm having a bit of a tidy up. And just one or two little things that I need to do in here, really to put it to bed for the winter. We've still, of course, got the winter crops in there. We've got the brassicas, the kale, the cabbages, we've got parsnips and got the leek. So we've got things that we can be harvesting, but I just want to give it a final tidy up. And I don't mind the leaves being on the veg plots and even the border where we've got the trees and the herbs, because they will rot down and the worms will pull them down into the soil. But on the gravel paths, if I leave them, they'll get trodden in, they'll rot, and then we'll get lots of weed growth in the spring. So I want to get rid of them. Now, you can use a rake, but I find sometimes if I use my plastic rake just there, what happens is it actually rakes the gravel as well, and you finish up with a pile of gravel. So I'm using my blower, which is great. This is a battery powered blower, and I can just blow them all into one heap and then just rake them finely to put them in the compost bin or my trug, and then into the compost bin. So first job is I'm going to clear the paths, and then we've got another couple of quick jobs to show you. So, as I collect the leaves, never throw them away, of course. I've been putting them in here along with grass clippings, and that's really quite warm, that is. You can probably just see that that is steaming. So where I've mixed the grass clippings and these leaves, they will rot down and make a lovely compost for next year. Always put the lid back on because we want to trap that heat into there. And then what I do want to do now is the asparagus that we planted. We planted 10 young asparagus crowns back in the spring. Obviously we don't get anything off them last year, may get the odd spear next year, but it's all about building up the root system. It normally takes 2 years. So now the foliage has gone all yellow. It's just literally a case of cutting the foliage down to ground level, and we don't need to do anything really with it at this time of the year. And what I do, this again can go on the compost heap. You can put it through a shredder, or what I do is just chop it up, because these rot down when mixed with other bits and bobs in there as well. So just get your secateurs, chop it up like that into pieces, and that will soon rot down when it's mixed with all the leaves. And what I want to do with the bed, not a great deal at this time of the year, of course, because the roots are now dormant, but I do like to just sort of loosen the surface a little bit. And if we've got weeds like this, it's always good just to take those weeds off, because we don't want them to grow and flower. Even through the winter, it's amazing how they can grow and establish. So really it's just to tidy up. All the foliage is gone, and then we're going to keep off it. And what I will do in the spring is I will give it a little bit of a feed and a mulch just before it starts into growth. So that is really simple to put that to bed for the winter. And then I'm going to go over there. I've got something I want to do in the brassica bed. The other thing I'm doing is I'm actually in my brassica cage here, the net. I'm getting rid of all the yellow leaves. They tend to have a habit, if you've got Brussels sprouts or kale like this, or cabbages, you get the odd leaf that just goes yellow at the base. They're no good to eat, of course, and they are often host to the brassica whitefly, which is always a problem I can't get out at this time of the year. So they can be a problem on the underside of the leaves. I don't know if you can see those. You can't spray against them. So by getting rid of all this old foliage, you're also getting rid of those. Again, they will go onto the compost bin. And what I will do is leave the nets on over winter, not to keep the butterflies off, but just to keep the pigeons off. Rhubarb hasn't died down for us yet. Some of it has in places. So there's a clump of rhubarb that's still green. We can't use it, but while it's got a green leaf, it's feeding the roots. So I shall leave that for another week or two till we've had a bit more frost. And the other thing I want to do is in the leek bed. Leeks are looking really good. We've already eaten some, but again, we've got some damaged foliage at the bottom. So I just strip off some of this dying and damaged foliage. Again, it just gets rid of any fungal spores. It's all about hygiene in the garden. So we want to leave it so we've got nice, healthy foliage on there. Just peeling off these bottom few like that, which exposes the shaft of the leek. They look better and it just prevents them spoiling over winter. So all those little jobs you can do at this time of the year, just that final tidy up, and that's more or less it then. We can just enjoy the vegetables through the winter, knowing that all this waste is going to be in the compost bin rotting down. Well, thank you for watching Pots and Trowels, and remember you can watch all the videos that we've done on YouTube, and don't forget our new podcast, the Pots and Trowels podcast, available from your normal podcast provider.
I enjoyed getting mucky. I think that was it. I did.
Next week we're going to be planting bare root roses, so we'll see you then. Bye.